Ryder's charms. But, we'll just do a little patio, what we got on the patio for now. So we got a printing it and all that. It's just not worth it, and I've just I would be too impatient to wait for the arrival of like a new one or whatever. It's my guava tree. It is coming back. It's got some leaves there. Coming shooting out of the stems. Just trying to focus the camera. There we go. There you guys come in. And I got my spindle palm, my dracandia, my date palm. All right, now let's go over to the main section. It's my Ceylon cinnamon tree, and it's starting to come back. It's got some leaves starting here, here. It was struggling. I cut off all those dead leaves. Now it's just like a stem, but it is starting to put out some new leaves, so that's good there. I got my strawberry papaya, which is looking pretty good, putting out some new leaf there. My orange tree, and then my peach tree, which is struggling right now with those, but it's still got some fruit on it. Hopefully, that fruit stays. Ooh, look at that one. That one's getting pretty big. We'll see. Fingers crossed we get that. Hey, make sure you tap that screen and share this live. And I need some input on my banana here. See, it's like this leaf. It looks a little weird. Look at this leaf. Like you see how it's like, so let me just look at this banana leaf. You see how it's like kind of unfolding, kind of weird. Like you see how like it's kind of like the inside of it. Like usually has like kind of like a tip to it, like this. But then look at this. See, it just has like kind of I don't know, like a pigtail thing going on there. And you see like this is like kind of like the inside. It looks like the inside, like the back of the leaf. When usually like that's here. Let me show another one like this. See how kind of like curls up a little bit, and then you see like a little bit of the inside of the leaf. But like look at it. You see, it's kind of unraveling weirdly. I don't know what's going on there. Does anyone know? Should I be concerned? Is it fine? Can you guys comment in the chat? Is my banana okay? Is it like diseased or something? Anyway, let's get on to it. So I got my red skin peach tree here, and I do have a couple peaches. Last year it did, get some fruit, but only grew to about this size, about like the size of a peach pit. So hopefully, we can harvest some peaches this year, but it does have, the peach tree leaf curl disease, which is not looking too good. But, hopefully, still manages to put out some peaches. Make sure you guys tap that screen, to like this live and, chat. This is my strawberry papaya. It's putting out some leaves at the top, kind of like starting, not really starting, but, kind of maybe getting a canopy soon. And then this is my cinnamon tree, which it was struggling, really struggling. I had to cut off all the leaves because they were like browning and stuff. But as you can see there, it's starting to put out some new leaves, and along the stem. So sometimes you just have to be patient and give the plant a chance to bounce back because, this one did bounce back. Now over here, I got my raspberry. Look at this fruiting see this fruit. So probably maybe like a week or so, we'll have some fresh red raspberries for picking. And if you guys can just like that, like this live, tell me in the chat, what are you growing in your garden? Do you have a garden? But look, see, it's my red raspberry, my fall gold one. I'll show you guys in just a minute. But see, we got a pretty good harvest, this year probably. And then I've had this raspberry bush for several years, probably planted it, I don't know, maybe like 5, 8 years ago. I don't remember. It was such a long time ago that I planted this. Wow, that number jumped up a lot there. Make sure you guys like this live and tell me what are you growing in your garden? And I also have a question, since now more people are in here. What is going on with my banana here? Like, it's kind of the leaf coming out is a little like, I don't know, a little deformed there. I'm not sure what's going on. But if any of you know, comment in the chat. Anyway, for those who haven't seen, this is my red raspberry. Looks like we're gonna get, a decent harvest this year. And again, I've had this for about like, I don't know, 10, no, 10 years, maybe 8 years. I'm not sure. Thank you guys for liking that live. You'll also just double tap that screen. But I saw just a bee around here somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't know if you guys saw that. But comment in the chat. Or do you have a garden? And if you do, what are you growing in it? And over here I got my Kubelin. I think I'm not sure how to say it, but you know. Anyway, we got some growing here. Look at that. See another one down here, a baby one there, another one, baby one here. I got my organic green basil. Smells absolutely amazing. I love the smell of basil. I got my lettuce here, which is still doing pretty good, even with like the bipolar weather going skyrocketing into the 90s, then into like the mid 50s. Got my blueberry here, which isn't doing so good, but I got my pink lemonade blueberry here, which is flourishing. And I got my rose here, which is absolutely beautiful. Look at this full, very full blooms here. This is my orange rose. I don't know if it has a name, I forgot. But I'll have to look if I still have the tag or not. But look at this baby one down here. Doesn't that look just so cute there? And I also got some more here. And I'm also going to be showing you guys today a candy cane rose, which I'll post a video about. If you guys haven't already, go check out my fall gold raspberry, about how it's already producing and stuff, if you haven't already. This is my windmill palm. I got some palm tree fertilizer here, mixed in with the sand, but it's doing pretty well. This is like the second year. I got it July last year, so we're, in 2 months, it will have been a year, but, it's, got this coming out. It's got like good leader here, pretty sturdy, putting out some leaves, takes a little bit, but it's growing, it's getting there. My bleeding heart has stopped flowering. It's just leaves. What am I talking about for which one? I'm, I'm talking about my rose here. No, my windmill palm, sorry. This is what I was just talking about. See, I mean, I've had this. It's coming up on a year in 2 months. I got this in July. This like leader, like the main like stock. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but make sure you guys like that live, and tell me, what are you growing in your garden? Do you have a garden? What do you like to grow if you do? Well, look at this. Absolutely beautiful, kind of like, the cute little one down there. These are my sugar baby watermelons. One is a bush sugar baby watermelons, and these are just regular baby sugar baby watermelons. This is my yucca, which an animal bit off the top, but I left it in the ground and look, it's got a new one coming up. See, sometimes you just gotta give plants some time to bounce back, and sometimes they will surprise you. And look, this is my bush cherry, which is it's grown a lot this year. I got it in I think September last year. I just got watermelon, a cantaloupe, and then two cucumbers, two bush cucumbers, which produce like mini-sized cucumbers. I got my organic better bush tomato here and here, and just tap that screen like 2 times, I think, to like this live. And then here, uh, I think that's a watermelon. That's a summer squash and more bush cucumbers. This is my peas. I got a mix of peas, cassata, sugar snap, and I have some other mix in there. Wait, I hear a beat. Wait, ooh, 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 guys, guys, ooh, something is going. I think a bee got stuck in that mulch bag there. Ooh, or some bug. I'm not sure. I'm scared to let it out because if I do let it out, I might get like stung or something if it is a bee. But got like stuck in that mulch bag there. Hopefully it finds its way out. Oh dear. Well, I would maybe try to poke it with a stick. Oh. Hopefully it finds its ways out, find its way out. Okay, I'm not touching that. Anyway, I got my lavender here. It smells absolutely beautiful. I got my this is my what's it called? Radishes and beets. Wait, and wait, oh. See that wasp there? I think that's a wasp was it got stuck in that mulch bag there. So, I was gonna try to let it out, but it made its way out, which is good. Look at my this is my fruit snacks apple tree. It's just got like holding on to one there. I did do some cross pollination because the tinier one didn't have many flowers, so likely it wasn't gonna get any. And tell me, what are you growing in your garden? If you have one, you know, tell me. This is my strawberry plant. Let's see. I think I might have some growing here. Ooh, no, that one didn't. That one didn't hold. Neither did those. Wait, there's one here. There's one here. So we'll see. Maybe that one we will get some from. But here, see, this is like it's got like one of those. I'm not sure. Does anyone know what this is called? Like when a strawberry plant puts out like one of these. And then eventually, it takes root in like another place. See, that's what I did here. Anyway, guys, make sure you tap that screen, share this live, help support us. You guys can also donate at our GoFundMe, just go to our links. I'm I'm not sure if those are mosquitoes or something, but I'm not sure they're climbing on there. Look at my grape, it's got tons of flowers on it. Uh, first year, it looks like we're gonna get a pretty good harvest. This one's looking a little weird shaped, that leaf, but anyway, I got my honeysuckle here, which, it dropped a lot, because I guess, but, it's still putting out some new ones, which is good. My grape, tons of flowers there, well, those sticky white things there. And then here's my Majesty palm with some, I'm not sure what those flowers are called, some tropical flowers. Anyway, it's my lemon. It's starting to hopefully hold on some fruit. Oof, oof. Looks like this got attacked here. Oh my. Tell me guys, what are you growing in your garden? Here's my apricot tree, my plum tree, which is got like, it's kind of covered in ants. Like, look, you see some ants crawling there, uh, some down there, and then, like, I don't know why. I mean, this kind of was like infected with aphids. Look, see there? Look at that. What is going on there? Wait, and then here, oh, the curling leaves, not a good sign, but I did kind of like smush them off, and kind of like sprayed the leaves. I'm not sure, if that's good enough to get rid of aphids. If you guys know how to deal with aphids, please let me know. Oof, look at this leaf. It's kind of like, I don't know, a little deformed. Look at that. So it kind of like grew a little funky there. And look at this one, it's a little weird leaf there. Comment in the chat. Do you have a garden? If you have a garden, what are you growing? Just kind of got this tree has an unusual amount of ants crawling over. Like almost every leaf, I see like a little ant. I'm not sure what's going on. If you guys know, please, let me know. I'm not sure. I thought ants was like helped get rid of aphids, but actually they can help aphids transfer from one tree to another and spread. So, I'll try to get rid of that. We'll see. And I'm going to be showing you my fall gold raspberry over here. Look at this here. It's starting to mature there, And this plant I just got this year from Home Depot in early spring. And it's already got some fruit on it. And this my thornless blackberry, which I got last year, it's finally flowering this year. Got a couple more buds coming up there. Make sure you guys tap that screen, keep on tapping. And make sure you guys watch my long videos also. Once I hit 500 subscribers, oh, look at that. Some aphids there. Got to smush those. I'm not sure how to really deal with those. I'll have to do some research on that. But once I reach 500 subscribers, it's not just 500 subscribers you also need 3,000 watch hours or 3 million short views and to be able to enable super chats, and like gifts, you know, and like, clubs and like, exclusive posts and stuff, and that's 500 subscribers. Once you get to 1K, 1,000 subscribers, you need, I think it's the same requirements, but you can get ads and stuff and hopefully make more money. But you need 3,000 watch hours or 3 million short views, it's a lot. Like my strawberry pie, it's doing pretty well. It looks very delicate, but it's hanging in there. My elephant ears are starting to come up there and there, and my Cavendish banana, my lettuce. I'll show you guys over here now on my patio. What we got growing on my patio? We got a coconut palm here. This one I got scammed on. It came in like a 1 gallon pot or some, or 2 gallon. I'm not sure. One and a half or 2 gallon pot. When it literally says 3 gallon on it, but too much effort to return it and all that stuff. I left a review, but like it didn't show up on the website for some reason, even though I confirmed my email and stuff. It's just a little suspicious. But my guava tree, it was struggling inside, but once I brought it outside, got some humidity on it, it's, starting to put out some new leaves, which, it's bouncing back. my Jacandia, my spindle palm, which I really like. It's got like a hint, like an orange tone to the back of the palm. And then here's my date palm. I'll show you more of my elephant ears that are in the ground instead of the pots going up here and here. I also have one over here, but it's shaded by this tree. So, and like the tree is also taking some energies, you know, occupying the roots are occupying the ground, so it grows a little slower, but you just got to give it extra water. And now we're going to be going up front. We're going to be taking a tour in the front. I'm going to be showing you my, oh my God, look at that. Look at that bunny. Got a little cute little bunny there. Tell me that isn't just cute. Eating some grass. I've also seen some baby bunnies recently. But yeah. Look at that bunny. It's eating some grass. Isn't that cute? I've also seen some baby bunnies recently, but alright, now we're going to the front. It's giving me the side eye. See there? It's kinda giving me the side eye. But yeah. Alright, I'll show you guys. Sorry for the shaky camera, but uh, off they go. I'll show you the front now. Just 1 second. Here is my candy cane rose, which is absolutely beautiful. Is this not candy cane rose? I got this discounted in Home Depot for like 5.48 or something crazy because it was the fall, and they want you to get rid of these plants. I did post a video about that, so go check that out on my channel. It was a while ago, so yeah, it was, back in the fall, so you have to scroll a little bit, but this is my knockout rose. It's got tons of blooms on it. Absolutely beautiful. And we don't have too much up front here, but got a dogwood tree. Oh, it's doing pretty good. I also have some of a hydrangea up here, but it is kind of like shaded, so it isn't too big right now. But we'll see. Make sure you guys comment in that chat. Comment in the chat. Really appreciate it. Share this live. Like it to help support us. Right now, we're going to be going in the back again. We still got a few more minutes and then I'll probably end this live. But, we still got a few more minutes. So try to get as many people in here as you can. To help support us. If you haven't already, subscribe, and answer my question. What are you growing in your garden? Do you have a garden? Let me know in the comment section right now. I also have to show you guys my plum tree again. Well, first I'll show you my lime. Ooh, oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. It's a little mini lime there that dropped off. It fell off. Maybe when I was walking past or something. Well, that's kind of a bummer, but maybe I can still use it. I could probably, maybe cut it open, squeeze a little lime juice in my drink or something. But look at this. I still got this one here covered. It's my lemon tree. It's hopefully setting some fruit soon. But I'm gonna shoot my plum tree. Plum tree. Here we are. See, look at that. Yeah, it's got one hanging on there. Hey guys. So for more cool videos, cool lives, cool shorts, all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button and stuff. Oh wait, we got a person in here. Comment in the chat. What are you growing in your garden? Oh, do you have a garden? Tell me. Tell me in the chat right now. And then look at this plum, hanging on to one there, with this tree, hanging on to that plum there. The tree is struggling a little bit, but I say it's still doing pretty good. Look at that. Ooh, ooh, oh dear. But it has, I think those are aphids. I'm pretty sure those are aphids right there. Tell me, fellow gardeners, what do you do for aphids? Oof, gotta smush those. Smush those aphids. guys. So for more cool videos, more lives, all that. Wait, hey, you're back. What do you do for aphids, Because like I just smush them off, But you don't have like a spray, organic spray or something? Oh, look at that. Oh, doing some damage to the leaf. All right. So for more cool videos, more cool lives and stuff, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to help support us to reach our goal of starting our own sustainable organic farm. All right.